Hi there, Neil Clark here from Falkirk Piping, www.falkirkpiping.com. Welcome again to the channel. This is our 2020 Roundup, so it's just going to be me talking and telling you what's happened. So if you're looking for a tune, I'm afraid not this time. So this should be the last one. We did a couple of COVID updates saying what was happening, what we were going to try and do, and then we stopped about August because we thought, well, things are getting back to normal now. Anyway, it's now the 22nd of December, it's 2:30, and by 8 o'clock we will have finished teaching for the year. So, strange year, not been too bad for us, and I'll tell you more about that as we go on. Firstly, to bring us into 2020, 2019, we were abroad 5 times doing different performances and workshops all over the world. Still teaching, still doing some jobs, and still doing Glenbervie, the folk duo stuff back here. And we had decided it was quite hard going, very enjoyable but quite hard going. So we had decided that 2020 would be quieter, which was a pretty good decision. And here's what happened. So in January we moved house. We moved house to Torwood Avenue in Roundup, and we're very, very happy here. The only worry we had was how would people take to having someone teaching bagpipes in the street, because they might think it was going to be a bit noisy. Again, well, everybody's on Skype for a start, but we have had open days when we were allowed to have them. Everyone's been rounds. We have had a couple of sort of street performances, and everyone really seems to be happy enough to have us here. We are certainly very happy to be here. So we moved. A week after we moved, we went over to Odenwald in Germany to play at the Schottland Vereinigungs Burns Supper over there. Made fantastically welcome as usual by the organisation and by Barbara and Lothar, our hosts. Now, we were sitting round the table with Barbara and Lothar and saying, what's this going on in China? And when we got back from Germany, which is the start of February, things pretty much began to sort of edge towards lockdown. We had as well, just before that, we had made our No Borders CD, which we were going to sell at gigs, and of course we haven't had any, so we've got loads of these for sale. If you want one, just contact us. We've also still got some of the pipes and drum. This is pipes and drum is purely piping with one Glenbervie track on it. Glenbervie is mostly Glenbervie with one piping track on it. So things kind of trundled along towards March, and teaching as normal. We did our last gig, I think it was the 7th of March, as Glenbervie in the Turfickin Inn in Bathgate. And then, bang. So, a few things happened. Everyone that was on Skype, well, no change, no problem at all. Everyone that was coming to the house went on to Skype, with the exception, I think, of 3. And on top of that, what happened was the whole world was on lockdown. I was already pretty full as far as the teaching schedule went, but we were getting 4 or 5 inquiries a day for teaching. So I had started passing students on to a couple of people, but what we've done, if you have a look at the new website, you'll see Keith Bowes, ex-pipe major of Johnston Pipe Band, fantastic success story. Keith's ex-Guards. Stevie Duffy, ex-Guards and a good friend, pipe major of Scots Guards Association South Pipe Band. So Keith and Stevie are both taking Skype pupils from me, and they've had quite a few. Lastly, Dan Sweeney, who stays locally, My idea with Dan was that at the end of lockdown, which I thought was going to happen a lot sooner, Dan would take all the face-to-face local pupils. So don't panic, Dan. That's still the idea. You'll still see some. So these guys are up on the website, and we are taking people on. And to be honest, I think we can only expect more, because you have all these gigging professional pipers who aren't gigging, and they have actually started taking Skype pupils on as well. So I fully expect another surge when lockdown ends and things get back to whatever they're going to get back to. So we might actually be taking on more teachers. So that's pretty much that. Also in April, I had a new grandson born, Elijah James, who is nearly walking. This is December, and his practice chanter is awaiting. We didn't quite shut down on the jobs. Kaylee, our Highland dancer, is mad keen and a total inspiration, and she dragged me around various old folks' homes in the local area, dancing and playing for the residents. We've also, again through Kaylee, we've become involved with a fantastic outfit called Primal Adventures, Primal Adventures, who are focused on the outdoors, on survival techniques, on woodcraft, on living outdoors, on adventures, amongst lots and lots and lots and lots of other things, all with a real Scottish feel. They're now based up near Duncarron, at Duncarron actually, which is up at Duncarron Fort in the Denny Hills, which is about 8 miles away from here as the crow flies. Please give them a look. We hope to be doing more with them next year. What was quite good as well is a lot of bands, and certainly the Competing League of Amateur Solo Pipers run by the National Piping Centre, very quickly adjusted and started running online competitions. So we had always steered people towards the clasp, for example, but we now have quite a lot of students, adult students, involved in the clasp system, and I'm glad to say they're winning prizes in every grade, which is quite good for us as well as for them. And we have other pupils who have just entered, but they're getting feedback from other people apart from just me, because don't forget, a lot of people on Skype are pretty isolated and they don't really have much to compare their own playing with. So the online competition, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it works for me, especially the clasp system where you're getting qualified judging. Not to say you're not getting that elsewhere, but the structure has been there, it works well. They know their stuff, it's a good system. So we've got pupils in for that as well. We have a new website which we took our time over, www.falkirkpiping.com, and it was made for us by James at thefingerprint.com, who's local as well. Almost exclusively aimed now towards the piping teaching side and the Glenbervie side. We had started to get involved with education with Glenbervie as well. We were doing Jacobite workshops, for example, at Callender House up in Falkirk, and the schools were coming to see us. When we went abroad, it was a lot of educational workshops we were doing there as well. So we have the folk music side, yep, but we really do like the educational side. We also like working locally a lot, and we still do a lot of charity jobs. So, visiting pupils, of course, that didn't happen. We were due to have people from America, Switzerland, Germany, France, England, all over, coming to the house, Canada, and that didn't happen because they couldn't come. We managed still to take part in a couple of virtual folk festivals. The Incrunicht Festival in the Isle of Man were very kind to take us on. We've been keeping going with the Falkirk Folk Club, where it's worth mentioning Mr. Charles Tibbles. What a guy. He's really been working hard to keep the folk club together on a digital performance every Thursday night, and not just folk at Folk Club, the Odenwald Association, and probably loads of other things that we don't know about. We've been on several radio shows, KKRN over in California, Radio Wales, with the new CD, which is fantastic, very good of these people, and Radio Royal as well, I think, the local hospital radio. The YouTube nearly has 8,000 subscribers now. I'm actually hoping for more. And our charity appeal for Parkinson's UK, 50% of which goes to Parkinson's Falkirk branch, is now sitting at £3,120, having been on the go for slightly less than 18 months. I have also finished recording both Scots Guards 1 and Scots Guards 2, books 1 and 2, onto the YouTube channel, and I'm thinking about doing something daft next year again. So the YouTube channel is it's doing fine, and a lot of our inquiries actually come through the YouTube channel now. One thing which is perhaps worth saying at this stage, just because I've got to be grumpy somewhere, I will not send you music. I will tell you where to get it, where it may be obtained. I will not send you music. I bought the books, you buy the books, okay? Right. So, what have we got left for this year? This year we are doing a little 30-minute carol concert tomorrow, which will be Wednesday the 23rd of December at 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, and just for about 30 minutes or so. We also have a new dog, a collie, who is only a year old and hasn't quite been screen tested yet, so I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. And that'll be on Facebook. It's on the Falkirk Piping and Glenbervie Folk Duo Facebook page. Oh, got another something for you as well. At 8 o'clock, we should be finished by about 8:30, when there will be whiskey. So, hi, my Fs. In July, I was playing at my mother-in-law's funeral, actually. That's Catherine's mum died in July. And I had a filling on the front teeth, which is definitely blow stick related. And my filling came out, and the dentists aren't doing anything apart from emergency procedures, so I'm stuck with it. It's, I look a little bit like a pirate, but it's not causing me any problem, apart from perhaps having trouble with saying my Fs now and again. So I think I'm just going to stay like a pirate for the rest of my life. 2021 then, what's going to happen in 2021? Well, up until August I might have been tempted to stab a guess. I don't know. As far as we're concerned, pretty much business as usual. We will continue teaching from here in the house, and the idea that I have is people will continue practicing, because by the time you come to 2 years where we've not had any real competition, if you like, things are going to have changed. Some people are just not going to be there. Some of the younger players will become disillusioned and perhaps not continue. So I've said this before, but now is the time to practice. That doesn't mean come to me, I'm full, but now is the time to practice, to seek tuition and get the work in for the day when we hopefully get back to what we used to enjoy a lot. So what I would like to think is that perhaps those who didn't manage this year, and perhaps even more, pupils from overseas and even south of the border, if we open the border again, it's shut just now, can come up and see us. That would be fantastic. Who would we really like to see back here? I would really like to see, especially the younger people who are transitioning from practice chanter to bagpipes, because it's a physically hard time. If you're isolated, there's a lot that is certainly possible to get over through a screen, but it's quite difficult, and it does demand serious communication. So that's who I would really, the younger people I would really like to see back here, and I would like to say just now, I'll say thank you at the end, but I am really impressed by you younger people for keeping this going. It's great, because I know that a year to you guys seems quite a long time. To me, it doesn't seem long at all, but to you it does, and you're still going and you're still putting the practice in. So, you know, well done, and well done to everyone all over the world if you're keeping going, and keep going with the practice. So we have other things happening. We have 10 days left, and then we have Brexit. We have the Scottish Parliament elections, and we still have COVID. Do I think there will be a 2021 band season? No, I do not. And it's not because the willingness isn't there. This is my personal point of view. These events have to be hosted by someone, and the hosts generally want to make money and usually need to make money. And to speculate on holding an event where you would expect pipers to come from all over the world when that probably might not happen, that's a big ask. So even if we can travel eventually, I think 2021 at least might be out. So there's another year of practice. Deep joy, more Pibroch. So, yep. That wasn't a great projection for 2021. It's not a bad time to learn pipes. A lot of people have a lot of time on their hands to learn anything, in fact. So why not make use of it? You know, get yourself into the instrument, get better at the instrument. I'm not going to go as far as my rant and ask that those who offend our ears with the instrument perhaps stop it altogether. But this is a good time to improve your playing. Lastly, we have no complaints on a professional basis from 2020. 2020 has actually been quite good to us, and that came about because of all you people out there who support us, who come to us for lessons, who watch the YouTube videos free. And I hope we can continue to be of service in 2021 and beyond. Thanks very much to everyone all over the world. Falkirk Piping and Glenbervie Folk Duo will continue to be here throughout 2021 and for some time after that. And in the meantime, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.